just outside Liverpool, in a place called Chester. Don't know whether anyone knows that, in the United Kingdom. So it's a real pleasure to be here. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to deliver a webinar for all of you to show you some new technology that we're really excited to provide. So Kirsten hasn't even seen this, and we are very, very close to launching this. It's not yet in the public domain, but I'm going to make it available to all of you, anyone who's got a membership, after this, within the next kind of 48 hours, because we've got to switch it on for everyone. Yeah, so it's SSP version 2.0. And what I want to do is show you the new platform and all of the exciting graphics. But the predominant thing is that with the new system, that you can create sessions on any iOS or Android device. So basically, it's now opened up to iPads, iPhones, and Android tablets as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through how to create a session. I'm going to show you some libraries and then what you can do the session after. So hopefully it's going to be valuable for you. I'm going to try and make it a bit of fun, and then afterwards, like Kirsten said, we'll open it up. Any questions at all? Don't make it too complicated, but I'll gladly, answer any questions after. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, and I'll do that right now. So, okay, so I've clicked on create session. I'm going to work a little bit backwards today, because I've done quite a few of these, as you can imagine, with us being in lockdown. So, but I'm going to do something slightly different today. So the first thing I want to do is show you the actual new platform. And the new platform is very, very different. We have the avatars now, with a lot more PPI, which is pixel per inch. We're now working on an HTML5 platform with JavaScript, which basically means that what we can do now, I'm working off a Surface Pro, lovely American computer, and as you can see now, what I can do is using two fingers, I can navigate and I can actually create a session from any angle at all. So this is the first system in the world to do this in terms of a session planning system. It's taken us 4 years to achieve that. So I just wanted to show you that first of all, in terms of the quality of the graphics. You've got all the equipment here as well. So everything is a lot more defined, and you can get some great camera angles. We're still working on the quality of the avatars. So the avatars are a little bit still, you can tell that they still need a little bit of refining, but it's pretty much better than it was before using the Flash version, for those people who use the Flash version anyway. So let me go to kind of a little area over here to show you some more just on the graphics. So you can see things like the small-sided goal. Wait a second. The small-sided goal on here. Whoops. Wait a minute. Let me just reload the page. The internet's gone a bit funny on this. Sometimes it cuts out. I have to apologise. I'm working from home, so things aren't exactly as I want them to be. But yeah, let's try that again. So if I zoom in here, you can see the goals. You've got the mini goals, and you've got all the other bits of equipment that you can put onto the pitch here. And what you can do, if you haven't used SSP before, one of the things that you can do with this is you can highlight any piece of equipment, and then you can actually change the color. So you can do that. And then what you can also do is this object here, you can clone any selected object. So I can now click on that and add some more of these around the pitch as well. We have cones. So if I put the cones onto here, a little arrow appears above the cones, and I can create a nice row of cones there. And then you've got all sorts of these technical bits of equipment that you've got there, all the things that you'd like to use. That, you know, I mean, some of them are fantastic. Machine that feeds the ball out. So you've got all of that there as well. So the graphics are fantastic now, and you can imagine that you can get some beautiful kind of snapshots for your players and for social media, and for your own personal kind of session planning. So it's we've really tried to put it into gaming technology, if you like. So you've got all of these amazing. I actually think this system, we also provide. We provide this for a lot of associations, hockey associations globally, but we also do it for a lot of football associations as well. And 18 MLS clubs use the platform. But I actually think the hockey graphics and the avatars and the equipment are just more complementary to the system. So I think we've got some, you know, great stuff to play around with there, which is great. Because it's touchscreen, one of the things that we've got now is we've got this, so we can clear the pitch using this. It's all touchscreen there, so we can do that. But what we can do is we can go into like an overhead view, and if we go to the players now on here, what we can now do from a technical point of view is click on here. So if we clicked on the models now, we can select shapes. So from a tactical point of view, if I click this button here with the numbers, then what I can now do is I can click on the players and set a team lineup. So I can actually, you know, put them all on here any old way I want. And then what we've also got now with the lines, which are massively improved compared to the Flash system. So if I want to just put some passes together on this, I can go in and I can edit the line. So I could change it to dotted or solid, whatever your preference is. Click save, and it will then save as a default. But what I've also got is I've got pin line to cursor. So if I select this, then what it means is I don't have to keep going back and dragging and back and dragging. I can just go like this. So I can do a pattern of play. So it might be that I want to just get a pattern of play across, and yeah, I want him to go out to there. And then I want to custom run. I want the 11 to come and meet the ball there, and then lay the ball off to the number 10. So you can put in whatever patterns of play you want. And then what you can do is now touch the screen on here and select this button here, which says clone. So if I clone that, then it also duplicates the screen. So what I could then do is I could remove maybe a couple of things here and say, right, next pattern of play, guys, is going to be from the 7 to play it to the 8. And then I want you to, I mean, I'm making this all up, but bend your run, and then you pass it to the 11 there. So you could just use this as kind of a quick tool to highlight certain things that you want to get across to your players in the game. But here's the thing, what you can also do is you can go in and, again, first platform on the planet to be able to do this, where you can go in and you can view your, just using such a simple system, you can view the players, the tactics board from any angle that you want on here. And you can, you know, the effects are great. You've got shaded pitch area. So you could maybe say, look, I want to focus on this particular area of the pitch. And then what I can do is if I highlight that, so if I just click on it, you see these circles appear. I can select the color palette, and I could maybe say, right, okay, I'm going to highlight that particular area of the pitch, or it might be a certain player I want to highlight, and we can do that. We're actually going to add some more shapes as well, because at the moment it's just a kind of a square or rectangle that you can produce, but we'll be doing that so you can put circles around the players to highlight player movement. And again, you know, all touch screen using 2 fingers. So if I do that, zoom in and out, and you can really get in there and see it through the eyes of the player, which is great. So again, click the drop down, select delete, and it goes. So you can do it that way. What else have we got then? So some of the new stuff that we've got on here. If I just click plus at the top, it will create a new tab. So what I'd like to do is just show you very simply how you can create a session. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use tactics board. In fact, no, I use players to begin with. So I'm just going to drag some players onto the pitch. I'm going to use avatars this time to make it a bit more interesting. So what I can do is I can get the player on the pitch to begin with. I'm going to make them a little bit bigger so I can use this button down here. And then I'm going to zoom in to around about there and bring them in. So I might make it slightly bigger. What I can do is, if I wanted to, I could copy the player. So I could actually clone them and decide that I'm going to put them there as well. And then click them and rotate if I wanted to do it that way. So just two players there. So I could do that. What I'll do is I'll have someone receiving the ball. Whoop, there we go. So receiving there and rotate. So we've got someone there. And then if I go into here, click the equipment. So there we go. We've got playing the ball from there. Then I can select the line and select the pass. Again, you can always change this to whatever preference you want. And you've got your pass in there, get the angle, nice angle in there. And then what I can also do is I could use the equipment if I wanted to. I could maybe bring a cone on and say, right, I want a cone there. And I'm going to a little gate to pass it through and click on there as well. Just for a simple passing drill like that. You could even, if you wanted to, select the shaded pitch area and then kind of highlight the passing corridor there if you wanted to do that. So really, really simple to do. That's just how you can create it, and then you can get the snapshot that you want on that. Just going to back to the actual new version and going to the players like this. So what I'm going to do, if I just select a tablet, like a tactics piece, and then if I just put a couple on here, just want to show something. So you've got obviously as well some of the new the goalkeepers and everything. Like the graphics are phenomenal. But if I click on the text, one thing that you can do, and this is quite interesting, is that you can now put in letters, and you could actually drop that onto the tactics piece. So if you wanted to do a session with actual initials of the players and the movement, you could do that, or you could always use numbers as well as using that the ones I showed you before, where you can go with the cursor and just click on the actual numbers and go up and down. So that's another thing that you can do with that. You can use that on there. Going back to the text, so the other thing you can do is you can click on the text. Let me show you that again. Did that a bit quickly. Edit custom text there, and then I could put pass on there, and then drag that onto the pitch. So wherever I rotate, it's always going to be looking at me. Again, using that 3D, it doesn't distort, which is great. Kit-wise, so we've got different kits, so you can change them into different stripes. At the moment, we've got 4 kits, but we're going to have 12. And guys, can I just say, we are working flat out to put on the female avatars, which we are going to have within the next 4 weeks. And we actually developed them in Flash, and then we're told Flash was going to go redundant. So that's why we haven't actually got them on yet. So I apologize for that, but I can promise you that is number 1 on the list. So that's what we've got there. You've got 3 kits to choose from. You can see we've got different colors on there, which look great. and then you've got an official as well that you can put on. Just go into the back to the avatars, which is quite interesting. So if I go to an avatar there, you can see there. If I select the player, a few things that you can do here. The first thing is you can actually elevate the player or the object just from doing that if you select it. But what you can also do is you can select the player, an individual player, and you can change the kit color. So I could change it to say maybe yellow there. And that one person could have a different kit color. So you can have multiple kits. And then I could always select that player and copy them as well. So you can do that as well, which is just in case you were doing a practice with numerous numerous colors that you wanted to implement. Some of the other things that you've got as well. So if you select a player, you can make them semi-transparent. So if you look now, if you wanted to mimic movement, you could onto that. So you can do that as well, which is quite good. And then some of the other things that you can do, you can reset the custom colors to set it back to normal as well. So just a few different things that I wanted to show you on the new platform there. Right, so when you've actually created a session, and if I use I'm going to go back to using the tactical pieces because I want to demonstrate something after this. The next thing that you do is you will click save. So you want to save the session. So select save on that. And then if I put in here test session for the title, I then decide how I want to save it. So I can put individual or warm up or tactical, defense, passing, receiving. If there's anything on there that you've got any ideas as well that you think we're missing, please let us know. You know, the feedback's essential. And then we've got all the different age groups. Again, we can add to these as well if you so wish. So I'll put in the under 10s just for the example. You can select the date on here, which you can actually synchronize to your calendar on your phone, any phone. So any kind of calendar, G calendar, Gmail calendar, iCal, whatever you want on that. And then what you can also do, if you select on the left, is select videos and images. So I can just give you an example of that. So if I put in here YouTube, and then if I put in field hockey practice session. So if I put that into there, so if I just select this as an example for the demonstration. So I'm going to select this, and I'll just pause it. If I can, copy that.
Hi, my name is Amy Cohen. I'm here with the FT Academy today.
Oh, Amy won't let me pause her. So I've just, you might know Amy, but I've just copied Amy's session. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste it into there and click apply. So I've got now a video to support what I'm doing. If this passing drill was the session that you've got, it's another way of getting that message across to your players. So then what I can do as well, I can go into there and I can write in some objectives, learning objectives as well. I can also change the time on here as well, or I can change the time on here of the session and click save and exit. So when I click save and exit, it's now going to save into my session plan. And I've saved this as a test session. So I can go into this now and show you exactly what's happening. So obviously it's not, you know, the quality of the session isn't there, but it's for demonstration purposes. So if I go in here now, there's a few things that I can do. The first thing is that I can save it as a PDF if I so wish, and then I can print it out. I can print it on here as well. If I wanted to, I could make it public and put it on Facebook or Twitter, which I'm not going to do definitely with this session. I can edit the session, which gives me the opportunity to go back to the session and change things and save it, or I can delete the session. If I was to clone it, then it would clone the session, and I could retitle it, I could add and remove certain parts of it, and then save it as a different session. So that's what you can do with that. And then the other thing that I can do is I can play the video here. So I can actually watch that session there on here. So again, you could do this on your iPad or your iPhone. That's why we use YouTube. We don't support MP4 uploads, and that's just because if we did that, then our servers would explode. So that's why we use links and cloud links with YouTube. If you've got your own YouTube account or you've got your own club YouTube account, then you can use sessions from there and upload as well. This is a really useful button, this edit page. So with the edit page, what you can do is you can go in there and you can write in the text. So you can write in here, into there. And then you can also add in your learning objectives, re-alter the times in there if you wanted to. You can also remove any video from there, but you can also add it as well. And there you go, it's back there. And then you can save changes from that. So that's one thing that you can do. Now, one thing that I want to show you is this. So if you're on your iPad and you have got a game going on and it's half time and you want to speak to the players about certain things that are working or aren't working, then now what we've got is we've got a tactics board. So you can now move the pieces and you can support what it is that the message that you're trying to get across. So you could say, look, you could ignore all of this and you could say, number 2, I want you to push up. You need to go there. You need to be on the edge of the D. So you can support that, and then you can click on this scribble board. Sometimes actually on Zoom, it doesn't really, you might not be able to see it, but it's a scribble board, and it scribbles on onto the pitch. So you've also got a way of writing. It's not at all going to change anything. It's purely a presentation tool. So you won't edit or be able to do anything to the session here, but you'll be able to move things about and have some fun with it and show the players what they're going to do. So whole thing is designed to make your life easier and get your message across in a different way, in a visual way. So that's what you can do there. So now I'm going to go to the final part of the presentation, which is the 3 libraries here that I want to focus on. So my sessions, okay, this is where all of my sessions are stored. So I'm going to delete this practice here on there. So all of the sessions are stored there. So Kirsten's got all of her sessions in there, which are obviously more hockey orientated and really nice practices, which are great. And she's got all of the information in there, so it looks fantastic. One thing you can do as well, even on here, you can actually change the background of the pitch on there. So I'll put it, well, I don't know about that, but I'll put it into a nice color there, so you can mess about with that, which is great. So that's one thing that you can do with it, is when you created a session, you can click in your session library and you've got your whole repertoire of coaching sessions in there, which is fantastic. So, which is great. The club library. So this is a private library for all of you in partnership with the NFHCA. So this means that all of your sessions, so we've got sessions on here by Ian, we've got sessions by Shelley, lots of different people who have got access to this. So the idea behind this is that you could go in, I could select Ian's session, which looks fantastic, by the way, and then I could go in there and I can actually clone his session and make it my own, so which is great. The other one that I can do is if I go into the session library, in fact, let me just switch on something here. Let me just click on here just very quickly. Yes, we want that. And submit. Okay. So if I go into the main session library now, which is so that set library there is private to all of you because you've all got memberships. So no one else can see these sessions apart from you. And it means that when you save a session in here, it's also visible on the club library. If you didn't want it to be visible for any reason, then you can go to this drop down here and click on private. And then if you make it private, no one else can see it. The main session library then. So this is quite interesting. So what we've got here is we've got sessions from people all over the world. And you can tell, I mean, we've got Sportways use it in abundance from Holland. A lot of Dutch clubs. We've got the Indian Hockey Association, Polish, Australian. There's people from all over the world who use it, and you can tell that some of them aren't actually in English, and some of them are. So it's really interesting seeing here. Actually, that's in English, but you've got some ideas in here which are great. So you can go onto the main session library, and then you can select one of these, and you can say, right, I want to do a warm-up with the ball, and you've got lots of different options there. So if I go here, for example, the goalkeeper session, so I can click on this, and I can go in there, and I can select the session itself, and I can go in on a full screen, and I can see everything that I've got there. Again, this is all in. This is all using a touch screen now, and look at the graphics that you can create on there. Real kind of gaming technology, so you can get an idea, and you could just do this from your iPad if you wanted to get a message across. Or I could click clone, select clone there. Once I've cloned the session, then I can just go into here. I can adapt it if I wish, or what I can do is I can just click save straight away, and I could just put test clone session just for the purpose of this, and select save. So once I've gone into the worldwide library, which is the library I've just shown you there, with sessions from all over the world, then I can go in there and I can select a session, and now it belongs to Kirsten. So this session library here is from all of our members from all over the world, from everywhere, and you can select on anyone's sessions, just like the club library, which is the private library to you, and you could click on, say, Ian's, and you can go in there, and I could clone that as well. And that clone button is really powerful because it means that you can create your own session plan, but you can adapt it as well. And then you can just go in and you can save a session in just literally minutes, you know, like it's done in under a minute, and you can build up your own coaching repertoire with some brilliant sessions. So just running through the universal session library, you've got a keyword search on there, so you can search for what you want on there using keywords, but you've also got all of these categories as well. So you've got passing practices, you've got receiving, specialist skills, carrying the ball. So you've got all of these that you can go in, and you can go in there, and there's another one from Sportways there, and then you can save and you can clone it. So that's that. Just going on here then. So just kind of finishing off. To summarize, what I've done is I've gone through the new platform. I've gone through how you can create a session with lots of different things. I've skimmed it, to be honest with you. I've gone as quickly as I can. What you can do when you've saved a session, so cloning, delete session, edit page, print, save as PDF, how you can save it, so you can make it private so no one can see it, won't be visible on the club library. If you make it public, it goes onto this main session library, and you can put it on Twitter and Facebook. You can also click on the link. I could email that to you now. Even if you weren't a member, you would be able to go in and you would be able to click on here, and you would be able to go in and you would actually be able to see that like that, and you'd be able to go into the session. So you could email it, if you made it public, to your players, and they would actually see the session they're doing with the graphics. as well, which is pretty special, you know, to if you want to get the message across and say, this is what we're doing tonight, guys. So that's useful as well. Print it, save it as a PDF. Then I've run through the library. So you've got your own personal session library. You've got the club library where you can save and share. And then you've got the worldwide session library where you can go on and see coaches' sessions from all over the world, which I believe is the biggest hockey session library that exists at the moment. So yes, that is it. Kirsten, anything I've missed? Hopefully I've not switched everyone off yet and sent them to sleep. But that's it. That's a new platform. No one. I've not switched this on for anyone yet in hockey.
It looks like maybe some people have some questions, so we can submit them via the chat to everyone or just to Magnus. Kels, looks like you have a question. You want to type it in and we'll get through those?
Please do.
Cool. I can see Kelsey typing furiously, so she has a good question.
The planner from Sport Plan. What's the difference? I think. Have you seen this now? Have you seen this compared to Sport Plan? I'm not by any means being derogatory towards Sport Plan, but
I don't even know what Sport Plan is.
No, Sport Plan's a well-established company. It's so what I'm trying to say is that with this is more 3D avatars and gaming and trying to look at it from a drone perspective and that 360 point of view, so that you can look at it from any angle. That's what it is. That's the key difference. And then also what you've got is you've got a lot of possibilities. When you save a session, you can go and re-edit. I've never used Sport Plan, so I couldn't comment on what the options are once you save a session and what the database is behind it. But certainly, I think in terms of the graphics, I've seen Sport Plans, and I think it's more kind of tactics pieces. But I could be wrong. How can you link it to a calendar? Good question. I like that. So if I share my screen again. Okay, so when you go to the home page here, so if I click on the home page, you've got your own thing there. So when you save a session on there, it will appear. Now, there isn't one on here at the moment. There'll be a little link, and you can click on that link and it will go straight to your session straight away. If you click sync the calendar with a personal calendar and you click on that, which I'm not going to do now because it's Kirsten's, but if you click on that, then it will ask you to put in the calendar and the login, and then you can do it that way. Sport Plan, I believe, is I think it's a great company. It's been around. It offers a lot of sports. So yeah, I think just the difference is the 3D. Any other questions, guys? Please fire away. You all muted. Have I muted you all by accident? Kirsten, I think can you unmute everyone? Or is that me? Let me do it.
We can do it ourselves.
All right, okay, sorry. Yeah, please, Jean, sorry. Yeah, I think that's the main thing that I was trying to get across in terms of Sport Plan is purely graphical. Yeah.
I saw the difference, but it's just a question because I work with it now for 15 years. So I was one of the first that used it.
Yeah, so I think Sport Plan's been going for do you know, when I was doing the due diligence on session planning back in 2010 now, which is going back a long way, Sport Plan was one of the only ones, and there was another one from a football side called Soccer Specific. They were the only two that I could find, which is quite amazing, really. That was 10 years ago.
Yeah, they're Dutch, so that's why I know them. I'm Dutch, so maybe that's why. But you're in England, in the UK, yeah?
Yes, we are. Chester, yeah, Chester. You're from whereabouts in Holland?
Yeah, close to Eindhoven.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, been to Eindhoven. Yeah, it's so yeah, we developed the hockey system originally with Sportways, which is a Dutch company. Yeah. So no, good. Some great liaison with Sportways. It was brilliant. Can I? Next question is, how do you use the video feature or active show movement? Good question. So with the new platform, what I'm going to do now, I'm glad you asked the question. With the new platform, we haven't, that's one of the last things. So the female avatars and the animation are the last two things to add in. But I'm just going to show you what you've already got, which is if I go to my account, I go to my profile, and then if I scroll down, it says try the new session editor. You might not have this yet, by the way. I just want to clarify that. So I'm going to get this switched on for you over the next 48 hours. But we have to, at the moment, we're trying to program in this to do it on a kind of a blanket turn on. But at the moment, it's going to have to be individual. So that's why it's going to take a bit of time. So what you do is you switch it to no, right? Try the new session editor because the old version supports it. So if I click submit now, just make sure that you go to here and you click on this little lock and it says flash allow, because obviously they're trying to get rid of flash. So you have to click on that button there. Click create session to get so that you can get into the flash version on here. Now the only disadvantage is with the new platform, then you can use it on an iPad. With the old platform, you can view sessions on an iPad, but you can't create. So I just wanted to highlight that point. On here, if I just hover over here, you can see it says convert drill to animation. So if I click that first of all and say OK, then it goes to an overhead view originally to begin with. And then what I'm going to do just very quickly, I'll put person receiving the ball there, and then I'm going to put someone passing the ball there. And let's make it a little bit bigger. I'm just going to have a blank field, actually. And then zoom in, make them bigger, and then you can see it. So get the angle you want, all right, on there. So he's the person passing the ball. Get the ball onto the pitch there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm now going to get a keyframe here. So building an animation, you're building a film. So if I press the plus button, all I'm going to do is just move the ball to this player here. Here we are. And then I can speed the object up by doing this. So if I just do this and click play, there you go. And then you just continue to build up your keyframe on there. So you can just build it up and up and up and up, and you can do that. And that's how you create an animation. And then you can click play and you save it anywhere you want. That's how you do it. So pros and cons. The cons are the fact that because it's done in 3D, you have to change the body shape, and the players don't actually move like lifelike yet, so you can't move their arms and legs and things like that. So it looks like they're running. And also the old version doesn't have the tactical board, whereas I personally think with the new version, using tactical pieces to show, say, like a 4v2 situation to improve possession, or 3v1, that's what you want for an animated practice. So yeah, great question, and I'll stop sharing and go back to that one. Can you do animation yet? Someone is asking, are there goalkeeper related categories to choose from when created a category? So with the categories at the moment, these are the ones that we've got on the system. So if I share my screen now, so on here, if I click to on here now, session categories. So we've got physical conditioning. Now, in terms of the goalkeepers, we actually don't have a specific one on there. But like I said before, this can be developed quite easily, and we can switch them on. So if anyone's got any ideas and feedback, then we would honestly welcome that. what I'll do is I will give my my email here. So if you've got any feedback on ideas in relation to the categorization, then please let me know. Is it possible to have two balls moving at once using? Yes, it is. Yeah. At one time? Wow. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Good question. Wow. I've been asked that before in 9 years. Good one. Can you only use the animation feature in the old platform? Yes, currently. We're about 4 weeks off the new version. Is it possible to have two balls moving at the same time? Yeah. Someone's asking on the goalkeeper. Yeah, I've done that. Okay. Guys, any more questions? These are brilliant. Please ask me as well. You can unmute.
Can you show how to get two balls moving at once using the animation? I've tried in the past and I have not been able to figure it out.
Right, let's have a go. Right, I'm gonna try and do it now. I think you can. Let's have a look here. Right. Two balls moving at the same time. So from here, so object there. Let's do it like this.
Can you share your screen?
Oh God, sorry. Hey, I apologize. It's the afternoon over here, so I'm starting to flag. The brain's stopping. Let's try it again. Okay, let's delete. Right, so I've got two balls there. So there. Right, so press the plus button here. Move that there. Going to put a bit of speed on it. I'm going to move that there. Put a bit of speed on it. Let's see what happens. Yes. Voila.
I've tried that a million times. You just made it look so easy.
Well, I actually didn't know whether it was going to work because you put a little doubt in my mind there. But, yeah. But no, great question. I've really enjoyed some of the questions. Are fantastic. That was a great one. Any other questions like Kelsey's just asked that are highly complex that I might not know the answer to? No, I think Kirsten, I think unless anyone's got anything else to say, look, I've put my email there, guys. You know, any questions at all, please do ask. And if you didn't want to ask now, I totally understand. In terms of the new platform, like I say, it's going to take us a couple of days to get this all on, but I wanted to do the webinar first, and I wanted to show you how to use it first, and also how you can switch between the two. So if you want to use the animation, you can convert to the old platform, and you know what to do with the new platform. So hopefully that's been you know, a valuable little exercise that I've provided you with. You've been absolutely brilliant. I've spent 45 minutes of your time. So, and I know you must be very busy. So, Kirsten, I'll hand it back to you.
Cool. Thank you so much, Magnus. I think everybody can agree that that was very helpful. And now that we all have some extra time, it'll be a good tool to use. And everybody, this is like Magnus's 120th Zoom call, and I'm sure you're all zoomed out. So we're all happy to end it about 15 minutes early, but I'm sending out, there's a link to the survey about, and I'll email it to everybody about just this format and what else you all want to see. And then obviously you can email me, I'll send my email along. and I've used it a lot. Their support tickets at Support Session Planner, people are always really on top of responding to questions, so that's always available too.
Thank you so much for your feedback as well. I really appreciate your kind words. And Kirsten, I think we're going to be doing a few more of these, aren't we? So if you'd like to see something similar again or a particular focus, then we can do that as well, Kirsten.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Magnus. And
thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Have a great.
Stay safe, everyone.
Yeah. Stay safe. Bye.
Take care, guys. All the best. Bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you.